Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's the Kitty G, and I'm back again with another video. How you guys doing? How's everybody doing today? So we're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff today. We got to talk about Houssem Aouar and how we got a bargain price now for Houssem Aouar. We're going to be talking about Emiliano Buendia and how he said, I want to go to Arsenal. And he told Norwich, I want to go to Arsenal. So let's try to make this move happen. And also, we're going to be talking about a couple other players. We're going to be talking about Sander Bergs and how we've seen a cheeky little plug from Sander Bergs talking about possible move. Is it a hint? Is it not a hint? We'll have to go and see. There's also, we already know about the Buendia. Oh, man. Not only are we talking about Buendia now, but they're also talking about Max Aarons as a possible right back. Inter, we know what happened at Inter today. Inter have had a breaking news how their manager has left Inter Milan, and could that open the door for Hakimi to come to Arsenal? Do you guys even want Hakimi at Arsenal? Plus Hector Bellerin. There's stuff about Joe Willock. There's so much stuff that we have to get through today. We're going to get through all of that right now. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. First things first, I need you guys to do me a favor, a big favor. If you haven't already taken your time to smash the like button and hit the subscribe button, please do that right now. Only takes a few seconds out of your time. And everyone on Facebook, everybody watching on YouTube, do me a favor, hit that like button right now or hit that heart button right now, and let's get this show on the road. Let's get this show on the road. Big up to everybody watching. We got Errol in the chat. We got William in the chat. We got Football Official in the chat. Big up to you. We got my guy Mustafa doing his thing. Errol supports Spurs. Oh, I forgot about that. And then Football saying, keep up the good work, mate. Thank you. Thank you. Big up to everybody watching right now. Let's keep hitting those like buttons, people, and let's get this show on the road. First things first, we got to talk about. First thing we're going to talk about. You want to know what it is? We're going to talk about Houssem Aouar and how he has a cut price. If you guys don't already know, there's a situation with Houssem Aouar where we could even get him for as cheap as we can get him. This guy was going for around 54 million last season, and now we can get him for a cheap price of only 25 million. Yes, you heard me correct. 25 million for Houssem Aouar. This is ridiculous. Houssem Aouar was supposed to go for around 50 to 60 million last year. You had Arsenal linked to him. You had Juventus linked to him. But Arsenal have been given a major boost in our signing of quest of signing Houssem Aouar from Lyon. The midfielder is reportedly now going to go for only 25 million. The reason why he's only going to go for 25 million is because after Saliba scored that goal in the 3-2 win for Nice, not only did he score that goal to help his team, but he also scored that goal and helped Arsenal possibly seal the move for not for Emiliano Buendia, but for Bissouma. No, not for Bissouma. No, I'm sorry. What am I talking about? For Houssem Aouar. This is a great thing for us, because now we can get Houssem Aouar for the cheap price of just 25 million. That is amazing. But yo, we got Gunner Express here also. Gunner Express, we're on Facebook today, so try not to swear, please. Anyways, let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. You already know what it is. Smash the like button. Houssem Aouar, what are you saying, Gunner Express? You in for him?
Yeah, what's up, man? No, I don't want Houssem Aouar anywhere near Arsenal Football Club. Like you said, the likes of Real Madrid were linked to him. I mean, apparently Madrid was saying that they were going to definitely buy him this summer. Juventus were obviously linked to him. Why are they no longer interested? Because this guy's a dead footballer. I'm sorry, he is for me. I don't want him. He was pretty good last season, but this season he's been poor. And you've got to question why last season did Lyon not even make Europe? Why this season did they bottle Champions League? Why is he not doing enough to carry them? Because they've got a decent team. They've got good players in their team. So obviously he can't be that good for me. And again, I've seen some stuff from him. His stats have been quite poor. I think they're even worse than Pepe's, and apparently Pepe's been the worst player to ever sign for Arsenal in some fans' eyes. So I don't know. I don't think he's good enough. I mean, yeah, for 27-30 million pound, you could maybe argue. But again, for me, there's just better players out there. The likes of Florian Neuhaus from Gladbach, who's going to be around about 30-40 million. The likes of Pedro Goncalves from Sporting. There's just better players that can do a better job. And I get that he has age on his side, but again, the two players that I just mentioned are both very young as well. So for me, no way. I would not be happy if he signed at all. In fact, I'd be quite upset.
Let me just read the report and what it says specifically, okay? So the report says Arsenal have been given a major boost in signing the Lyon midfielder for about 25 million. Arsenal was heavily linked to the 22-year-old last summer and were priced out of a move. L'Équipe say that now his price has fallen from the 54 million that it was last year when the president wanted to now 22 to 25 million. The Gunners could sign the midfielder for a price between 20 to 25 million. Now that could be because this market now is a buyer's market. So this is a big thing for Arsenal. Is Arsenal still interested in Houssem Aouar? I'm not 100% sure, but there's been reports that we are still interested. I'm not sure if that's coming from the Lyon side or the Arsenal side of things. But this is heavily linking Houssem Aouar back to the Gunners. So we're gonna have to see, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna have to see. But I'm gonna continue. Before we continue, Abdullah's in the chat. Abdullah, what's good? What are you saying?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. You already know what this is. Houssem Aouar is a flipping baller. Any chance you go get him, you should just cop him right now. Because I remember last time everyone was saying, "Oh, we have a creativity problem," and all that. What I'll say about him is he's not necessarily a guy who's going to create 50 chances over the period of a whole season. But what he does is he does more than that. So if you watch him play in general, he's good for build-up. He does create chances as well. He's not like a traditional number 10. He's more like a centre mid type thing. He's almost basically, if Iniesta, if there's like a slightly worse version of Iniesta.
Stop it. Abdullah, stop. I got to stop you right there. Stop.
Why?
I'm sorry. Don't compare him to Iniesta. Just did it, please.
Right, fine. Well, they play in the same position virtually.
I'm Piercy.
All right, say less.
My bad, Abdullah. Just hello, Van Pierce.
Hello.
Yeah, you there?
Hello, bro. I'm there. I'm here.
What do you think about Houssem Aouar being linked to Arsenal for 25 million pounds?
Seriously, bro, I don't understand the hype around this Houssem Aouar. I watch French league a lot, and he's not good for Arsenal, and he can never be good in Premier League.
Ooh.
So he's a no for me.
Wow. Okay, so that's two people saying no to Houssem Aouar already. What is this saying? Arteta sent Saliba to score the final to stop Lyon from getting Champions League to drop Aouar's price. Masterclass. No, come on, we know that.
I think Bissouma and Emiliano Buendia will be elite.
Okay. All right, Van Persie. Yo, where'd Abdullah go? All right, Van Persie, thank you, mate. Have a good one. That's Van Persie coming in saying that. Next, we got to talk about the next topic. If you guys haven't already heard, I'm just going to throw out the next topic. The next topic is Emi Buendia. We've been linked to Emi Buendia for a long time, ladies and gentlemen, and the rumor has it that Emi Buendia to Arsenal is heating up. It's getting closer and closer as we speak. They're stating that Arsenal have reached out to Buendia's team, and that Buendia has made it known to Norwich that he wants to move to the Gunners. Now, with that being said, that he also has interest from Aston Villa over the past 24 hours. Aston Villa have also become interested, but since Norwich have been promoted, the Gunners have been trying to force his move as quick as possible to secure him before he goes out to Argentina to play in the cup over there. What is it? What was the cup called?
Copa America.
Copa America, yeah. So that is what is being said right now. It looks like we could be submitting a bid sooner than later. Gunnar Express, what do you think about the whole Buendia take?
For me, it's a bit of a weird one. I don't think he's particularly bad, but I just don't get it. Like, he's been playing right wing all season for Norwich, and yes, he's done very well. Obviously, his records are great, and again, I've seen some videos and stuff of him where he's looked good. But again, he's played at right wing, and we do not need a right winger. We've got Pepe, who's just getting good. We've got Saka. Like, we don't need a right winger. So I get that he can play left wing and cam as well. But again, the numbers that he gets at cam aren't as good as what he has at right wing. So why would we buy a player for 40 to 50 million to play him out of position where he's not as good? I just don't get it. And again, in terms of better options for the same price, I don't think there's too many. But surely we should be going and getting someone who, first off, fits the position that we need, which isn't a right winger. And second, someone who is a natural cam, which obviously Buendia isn't. Otherwise, he'd be playing cam for Norwich. So for me, I don't want us to waste £40 million on a player. We put him in cam. He's not as good as we expect. We then sell him, and then we find out that in reality, he's actually a very good right winger, and we haven't used him properly. Because we've done this before, where we buy a player, play him in the wrong position, he leaves, goes into his natural position, and plays really well.
You're more worried about where we're going to play him when we sign him. You're not worried about the signing in itself.
Again, I'd love him. He does look very good. At first, I was quite against it, not just because he was from the Championship, but mainly just that I hadn't seen enough of him. But when you actually look at his Premier League stats as well, he's actually really good. Like, I think he created the most chances for a long while in the Premier League. And for me, I just have a weird thing about him where I think he'll be our Bruno Fernandes if we bring him in, where a lot of people think, oh, he's not really that good, or there's a lot of speculation and rumouring around him, and he'll actually transform us into a very, very good team. But again, I just don't know if he'll get those numbers at the position that we're going to play in, which is probably that centre attacking midfield.
Some people are not. I've heard some Arsenal fans saying, "Why are we signing players from the Championship? This is a terrible idea."
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But yo, Abdullah, what are you saying?
Yeah, so you see what it is with Buendia. I've been screaming for time, with Arsenal, right? If you want to get ballers, more time, the most obvious player isn't always the right option. I know sometimes you just need to go cop someone who, isn't necessarily... I mean, Buendia, everyone knows about Buendia in the UK, for example. He's not like one of the biggest names in Europe, for example. But if you brought him in, I think he'd be good because, correct me if I'm wrong, the problem at Arsenal hasn't really been so much goal scoring. It's more been the fact that you're just not creating too many chances. Am I right?
Yeah.
All right, well, then he basically solves that problem. Obviously, we'll need to get time to adapt to the new system with what Mikel Arteta wants to try and do. But I reckon he'd be brilliant for Arsenal. And, £30 million is, in this market, it's a steal, to be honest. That guy, if he was playing for, a bigger club or in a league where there's more people viewing and shit, I'd probably do a good job. And why couldn't he go ball out for Arsenal? For me, Arsenal have a very, very good chance of not necessarily getting top 4, but of closing the gap on the top 6 next season. And the best way of doing that is to go get players who aren't spoken about very highly, who not many people are after, like Tierney, for example, who actually turn out to be duns. If they do that, then they'll be able to start closing that gap on the top 6. Then once you've done that, you can start going for the bigger names, and from there you can start really pushing to get into a top 4 finish. And once you finally get into...
We'll be doing a watch along for the final, for the Europa League final later. Let me get Jasmeet in here. Jasmeet, how you doing?
Doing good, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just gonna move you up a little bit so we can get your thoughts on this too. So right now we're talking about Emi Buendia to get his dream shirt at Arsenal. He wants a 17 shirt to seal the transfer, and he's also said that the move, his team have said that he's interested in the move. He's notified Norwich that he's interested in the move, and it's now just between the clubs to sort out the agreement. Now, do you think the deal is going to happen, and is he the kind of player that you want at Arsenal?
I think we should go for him. I know last time he was in the Premier League, he only scored 1 goal, but it could be for different reasons now. This season, he has already scored, I think, 15 goals, and we need a creative midfielder who can score as well. In the past, we had creative midfielders who never score. Even Martin Odegaard, I know he's pretty creative, but he never scores goals. So we need someone like Buendia. So I won't mind him at Arsenal. And also regarding other players, I think from the last 3 or 4 seasons, what we have been doing is we have been getting average players. Like we have been getting like 5 or 6 players a window, but none of them have been like superb. Thomas Partey was probably the only one who was the standout one. So rather than signing like a huge amount of players who are average or slightly above average, why not just sign 3 players in a window and all of them like a quality players? So yeah,
You're saying quality over you're saying quantity over quality.
no, quality over quantity.
Okay, so you're saying sign one quality player over signing 3 players that are shit.
Yeah, rather sign 3 players than signing 8 average players. Like what we have been doing is we have been signing 6 or 7 players in the window, and most of them are pretty much average. If you see when Emery took over, we signed Lichtsteiner, Torreira, Guendouzi. I mean, they were okay, but none of them were like, world beaters.
That's
So,
true. That's
yeah,
facts.
that's what I've been coming from. Yeah.
People in the chat saying we need a player like Grealish, in my opinion. Matis coming in. I don't know what he's talking about. Then we got as for me, the best midfielder. I hope Arsenal can push for the forward in Rennes or Grealish. Are you talking about Camavinga, Grealish, and Bissouma? I'm assuming when he says the number 8, is Bissouma the number 8 for Brighton? No. All right. So enough about Buendia and Aouar. If you guys haven't heard, there's a bunch of other stuff also. So apparently Hector Bellerin is a transfer target for PSG, AC Milan, and now Real Betis. The 3 clubs are now interested in Hector Bellerin's services. They know that Hector Bellerin they will be able to get Hector Bellerin on a cheap deal. We have already rejected a £25 million deal from PSG last summer. So will we be getting the same amount sent to us this summer? I'm not 100% sure, but the rumor has it that Hector Bellerin is a transfer target for PSG, AC Milan, and Real Betis. Those are the 3 clubs that are after him. It looks like he could be going from the summer this year. This will definitely be his last season at the Emirates. No matter what, he'll probably be making a move this summer. I think his contract is not up this year, but the club will be looking to make some money off of him this year. Tell me, guys, what you guys think about that. And PSG, AC Milan, Real Betis, it's kind of like PSG is like up here, AC Milan's like in the middle, and then Real Betis.
I think it's a good idea to sell Bellerin because he might generate like 20 or 25 million. And also not only because he's not a great player, but I think the relationship between the fans and Hector Bellerin is totally broken now. And I know he's not as good as we expect him to be, but I think some of our fans are slaughtering him every match, even if he performs like 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. The fans are always behind his back. I don't know why, but yeah, like even in the Villarreal 0-0, he put a couple of decent crosses and Aubameyang hit on the post on one of them. And yeah, the relationship between the fans and him has been like completely off now. So I think it's a good idea for him to move on. And of course, we also need an upgrade on Hector Bellerin. So yeah.
All right, bless. Gunnar Express, what are you saying about Hector Bellerin moving on without swearing, please?
Yeah, in a bit, lad. Have fun on the walkways and the catwalks and all that good stuff. In a bit. I mean, he can go. I don't care. I mean, it's funny, innit? He's linked with Milan, who have some great fashion shows. Paris, some more great fashion shows. Like it's built for him. So in a bit, 25 million pound, whatever they want to pay, goodbye. And what's mad is I have 3 of those clubs. I see him doing quite well because I think that those leagues fit him better. And I think this is one thing that we need to realise. A lot of the players that will leave, the likes of Willock maybe, if he does leave, etc., a lot of them will do better where they go. But we can't exactly put that down to the club because these players just aren't good enough in this league. One for me is Xhaka. Again, I like watching Gladbach play. There's the links between Gladbach, maybe swapping Zakaria for Xhaka. Xhaka will do well in the Bundesliga. I can tell you now, he will be one of the best midfielders in that league. Okay?
Later, broski.
Like, he will. Xhaka will perform in the Bundesliga, and I think Bellerin will perform in Liga or Liga. So we just have to be ready to essentially accept that they were never made for Arsenal, they were never good enough, and that they will perform in different leagues.
Fair enough. Now I'm just going to move it on. Hector Bellerin. That's enough about Hector Bellerin, ladies and gentlemen. Big up to Azan. Azan, if you want to come on, the link is in the Twitter group. Anyways, so apparently there is a bid being prepared by Mikel Arteta and the club to get to keep Martin Odegaard at the club. So Mikel Arteta has made it clear that he's pleased with Martin Odegaard and would like to keep the player beyond the current season, be it on loan or as a permanent deal. We already know the situation with Martin Odegaard over there at Real Madrid. As long as Zidane is in charge, he will most likely not think. And a lot depends on if Zidane will leave this summer as manager, right? So we know that Zidane is not going anywhere as of right now. We know that Zidane is not headed anywhere as of right now. Last time I checked, Martin, everything's just dependent on if Zidane leaves. If Zidane doesn't leave, the former club Real Madrid have just given Luka Modric a new deal. So they've given him a new deal. So does that mean? What does that mean for Martin Odegaard? Does that mean we'll be able to get Martin Odegaard on a cheaper deal? Does the club want to keep Martin Odegaard on another permanent deal, or is it a loan? Because if they're spending money on Buendia and Bissouma and all these other places, they're not going to be buying Martin Odegaard on a full permanent deal. They're probably going to try to get him on loan, in my opinion. And that makes more sense. I don't see why we'd try to get him on a permanent deal. It just makes no sense, in my opinion. But right now, I'm going to throw it over to the guys. Let me go to Gunnar Express first. Does this deal make sense to you, Gunnar Express? Why we're trying to get him on a permanent deal or a loan?
No, I think he's dead. Again, Real Madrid wouldn't loan him out if they rated him. I get that Zidane doesn't rate him, but I don't either. I don't think he's good enough. He never has been good enough. Yeah, he's had one or two decent games, but he's not what we need. Like we don't need him. And again, if we are going to bring in Buendia and he's going to play in that centre attacking midfielder role, then we bring in Odegaard on loan or whatever else. We might as well sell Smith Rowe because he's never going to play in his preferred position. So for me, no, don't want him. Not good enough, and especially do not spend 40 to 50 million pounds on him, which is what Madrid will ask for.
Okay. What about yourself, Jasmine?
Yeah, similar. I don't mind a loan for him, but if you're going to sign him permanently, no, I don't think he's the answer. He's not going to score enough goals from the midfield, which is our main priority. We don't score from midfield, and that needs to change. So no for me.
Okay. So the next one is very deflating. The next one's very deflating. If you guys don't already know what I'm talking about, it's like if we can't hold on to our players, and we can't attract players, and they're choosing to go to teams like Leicester or Brighton over us, we got big issues. We got big issues. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, a certain player has been linked to Leicester and Brighton and everything else, and he's currently playing in the Scottish League. He's not even playing in the Premier League. It's none other than the man himself, Houssem Aouar, right? Houssem Aouar has been linked to a move to Brighton, and it looks like Brighton have joined the race for Houssem Aouar. This makes me wonder: is Arsenal serious about getting Edwards over the line? Because it doesn't seem like we are serious. It seems like everyone is trying to find ways to link him to other clubs and other teams. He's being linked now to Brighton. He's been linked to Leicester, and the deal being close. He's been linked to Arsenal, but no talks have continued with Arsenal. He could end up joining Brighton on £15 million deal, and this is a guy we've been linked to for over a calendar season. I find it quite strange. Once again, another situation that just baffles me with Arsenal Football Club. They just seem to baffle me all the time. How is it that £15 million striker right there, the replacement for Lacazette, if we want it, we can get for £15 million, but he could end up joining Brighton or Leicester instead. Another one we could miss out on. I'm not sure if you guys are interested in him, but it doesn't look like anything concrete is happening. It's just they've joined the race. But this is another player that Arsenal have been linked to over the past 2 years that it seems like we're going to fumble. Ferns has joined us. Ferns, what's going on?
What's happening, bro? How are you?
I'm chilling, man. People are saying bring him home. Yo, tell me, what do you think about the Houssem Aouar?
You know what? I don't know a great deal about him. I haven't watched him. I'm not going to say that I've watched him, but I've seen the YouTube clips like we all have. He looks decent, to be fair. Like young guy as well. But what's on my mind is the fact that the other teams that are linked with him as well. You know, I think that's always yeah. You can always tell what type of player they are when you look at the caliber of teams that are linked with him as well, and Leicester, Brighton, we should be aspiring for higher, higher rated players. I think anyway. I know we're in a position now where we have to kind of think about who we're signing. We're not in Europe. We're low in the Premier League table, but I still feel Arsenal's got a big pool in European football. So we have to keep that in mind. I don't really know a lot about him though, so I couldn't comment too much.
Yeah, and I need the people to do me a favor. People on Facebook, people on YouTube. If you guys do me a favor, smash a like on the video or hit the heart button on Facebook. Every single like or every single comment that you guys put in helps the channel grow. So keep having a conversation with us, have an open dialogue with us, and we'll try to get response to some of your comments in the comment section.
What do you think about him?
I think Edwards is a perfect Lacazette replacement in age and profile. He's taller, he's faster, built. I think the fact that he plays in the Scottish League, his price is cheaper, and his contract's run down to his last year, so that benefits us. But the fact that he's being linked to Leicester and Brighton and Arsenal are not serious about selling Lacazette, it just smells like it's bad.
What about the fact that we obviously still have Lacazette? We don't know whether he's going or staying. The same with Auba. Martinelli.
Auba's not going nowhere. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, 100%. Martinelli. It sounds like Arteta wants to try and push him towards a centre forward role. So, and obviously we just got Bellerin signed up to a new deal. I don't necessarily want to hinder Martinelli if the striker is his preferred position. And potentially Bellerin, obviously he's a young buck, so we don't know what he's really, really about on the big stage. But I don't really want to hinder these man's progress.
Facts. Yo, anybody else? Anyone here think between Jasmine and Gunnar Express, do you guys think he's not the right guy?
Yeah, I do.
You think Edouard's the right guy?
No, for me with Edouard, right? First off, he's always going to pick Leicester over anybody else because Brendan Rodgers was the guy that got him firing. Like this season, without Brendan Rodgers, you can see Celtic have struggled, and he struggled a lot as well. So he's always going to pick Brendan Rodgers no matter where he's at. He could be at like Wealdstone United. He'll pick Brendan Rodgers. But he ain't going Brighton. That's a definite. And I think the only reason Brighton are linked is because nobody else is. I don't think Arsenal have actually ever been interested. I think, we may be shown an interest, but in terms of actual concrete offers, etc., I don't think we're bothered. For me, Tony is the best option if you want a second striker like that. He's proven it in a better league for me, which is the Championship. He's, I think, the highest goal scorer in Championship history in terms of one season. But yeah, I agree. I want Martinelli to play up front anyway. I think he deserves to start. He's been the best striker, if you're selling Lacazette, that is. So yeah, bench Aubameyang. I'd preferably sell him. I don't think we're going to be able to. But bench Aubameyang, make him earn his spot back and play Martinelli up front.
And people on Facebook, do me a favor, come join us on YouTube for the rest of the video. Thank you, and have yourselves a wonderful day, guys, on Arsenal Inside Out Facebook group. Big up to you. Now, let's continue. What I was going to say was, the next story is, we've been linked to this guy, and since we have our Bundesliga expert on the line, I want to throw it over to you. Tell me a little bit about Edmund Tapsoba, the center back who plays for Bayer Leverkusen.
I've actually done a video on him on my channel, a bit of a tactical analysis, but to make it a bit shorter, he's massive. He's just built like a brick. He's very, very strong, as in he will push anybody off the ball. And he's 6'4", so you already know he's going to be good in the air, which is, for me, what we need in that right centre-back slot. For me, we need to replace David Luiz. I think, yes, Saliba could do a job, but we don't know how good he is yet. So getting someone like a Tapsoba in, who's also very young, I think he's 22.
Yeah.
Like it's a dream signing for me. He's everything we need. He's great in the air. He's great on the ball. He's very quick. He's very physical. And for 40 to 45 million pounds, which I think is his release clause, we have to make that deal. We've got to make that deal, because if we don't, somebody else will, and we'll miss out on him, trust me, because he will be one of the best centre-backs in world football for me within the next 5 years.
Wow.
He's an absolute baller, man.
You know what? I agree with everything that's been said. I don't know who that was, but I agree with everything that's been said, to be honest. But my only issue is that he's young. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like we need somebody who might be a bit more established, especially with Gabriel, Saliba both being young. I feel like we need somebody who's a bit more aged in the game.
So you think we need more experience instead of somebody like Tapsoba?
I think that in that position, yeah, because that's a real issue for us, and historically, it's been an issue for us. You know, in defence, we haven't really got anybody who is an established vet in the back line. Even if you're looking at our whole back line, our wing backs and our goalkeeper, we haven't really got anybody who's got that real experience. We got a lot of young promise.
Let me stop you there, friends. Man said, I think we need a leader in the back, just someone who is experienced to pair with Gabriel and Saliba. I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree as well. I can see that.
wish we could get someone like Koulibaly. That would be great, but of course, I don't think we're going to get Koulibaly anytime soon. Personally, I would have liked us to go to Ajax and not Ajax. Since Juventus have the Ajax guy, we should go get the Turkish brother. What's his name? Demiral. Yeah, he would be good. Is he? He's not young either, is he? He's a little bit more experienced.
He's I think he's a bit. I think he's 24, 25. I think Aslan said when we last spoke about him. Because obviously, I think Aslan knows him quite well.
Everyone we're targeting is young. I think we have to understand that we're trying to hit an age bracket a little bit. We're trying to get all our players to come together at the same time. So signing more weekends and signing more 30-year-olds would not be a good thing at this point. Because
this is why I wanted to keep David Luiz go, because he's just the perfect guy. Like we sit here trying to think about what experienced centre backs could come in. We had one who was doing a job, so this is why I'm a bit upset he's leaving. But I mean, we'll obviously see over time if it was a good idea or not. But
you could tell the dressing room was upset that he left. Yo, Jasmine, I'm going to throw it to you. Do you know anything about this young guy, or do you want me to just move on to the next one? Because I was going to move on to the next one.
Yeah, I'll just move on because I don't watch Bundesliga. So,
all right, fair. So yeah, the next topic is quite interesting. A lot of people are talking about this deal possibly happening, and when I seen reports of this, I'm like, you guys know where this originally came from? Because I don't think Brighton came up with this rumor. I think Arsenal are pushing this rumor. The Nketiah for Bissouma. Yeah. So this is the rumor, guys. So the rumor is that Arsenal have been handed a boost in signing Bissouma because Brighton are supposedly interested in Eddie Nketiah. I did not know they were interested in Eddie Nketiah until yesterday, but the rumor has it that Bissouma's price is 30 million. They value Eddie Nketiah as 15 million. So 15 million plus Eddie Nketiah should be able to get us Bissouma. If that does happen, that would be a great benefit to Arsenal because we would then be selling a player for a profit because he's an academy player, and we'd be getting Bissouma on a cut deal of 15 million plus Eddie Nketiah. Now, will it happen? I doubt it would happen for that type of price. Will Eddie Nketiah for Bissouma make sense? I don't think it would. If I am Brighton and I can get Osman Edouard for 15 million, why on earth would I spend 15 million on Eddie Nketiah? It makes no sense.
Yeah, I think a lot of these stories are just made up. Like you have Welbeck, he's not a great finisher, but why would you get Nketiah if you have Welbeck? Like Welbeck is surely better than Nketiah. Like it doesn't make
Facts. I think they should keep Eddie. They should keep Welbeck. They shouldn't. No one with their brain thinking properly should be offering us Bissouma plus money for Eddie Nketiah. I think Arsenal is pushing this. I think this is getting pushed by the Arsenal side of things. I think Arsenal fans started this rumor. The first place I seen this rumor was from Eduardo Higgins, and I'm not sure if people are starting to make newspaper articles based off what fans are saying, because that's what this looks like. This looks like something that was made up by a fan, and now it's being pushed by the bigger media companies. But yeah, I'm going to throw it over to you, Gunnar Express. Do you think this could ever happen?
Initially, no. I think, like you guys just said, it doesn't make sense for Brighton or anybody to sign him at this stage. But when you actually watch Brighton play, and I say this a lot with Graham Potter, they play a great system. They just don't have the strikers up front. Like Maupay doesn't really fit the system. Welbeck's not the greatest. Eddie Nketiah could fit that bill because they just need somebody in the box who's just going to finish. And Nketiah can do that. As we know, he just sits in the box and just kind of sits there. And that's why we don't appreciate him. But at Brighton, he could do a job. But if they were going to buy him, I don't think they'd let that reduce the price of Bissouma. I think they'd still want the main money for Bissouma, and then we'll try and haggle a deal for Nketiah. And as we've seen, they're looking at Houssem Aouar, so they're obviously looking at some very good strikers. So, I don't know, it's a weird one, but I agree. I don't think Brighton particularly want him. I think some of the fans have just seen that Brighton need a striker. Let's try and link Nketiah to them, but I don't. It could happen. Like it easily could. It's definitely something that I could see happening, but I doubt it.
I'm just gonna move on, guys. Jasmine, did you want to say anything on this, or you're good?
Oh no, I already said it. It doesn't make sense. Welbeck is already there. Like, it doesn't make sense.
I'm gonna give Ferns the first say on the next topic. The next topic, guys, is this one. This one had my interest. So we're now being linked to strikers that could come into the Emirates for next season, and they've linked us to him in the past. They're linking us to him again. None other than the man at Frankfurt, Andre Silva, right? That's his name, Andre Silva.
Yeah,
Andre Silva. Yeah.
Yeah. So Andre Silva was not doing so well in Italy. Was he also at PSG at one point, or
no? No, I don't think so.
He was in Valencia in Spain.
Valencia and Milan. Yeah.
So he was in Valencia. He was in Milan. He's been all over the place, and now the story is that Frankfurt chief hands transfer blow to Arsenal's interest in Andre Silva because Arsenal are red alert for the playmaker's bargain. So basically, he's at a cut price. Another player who's at a cut price, we could get it for a cut price. And Frankfurt just recently got him. He's played well for them, and they're already looking to sell him off. It makes no sense.
It might just be his aspirations himself wanted to move on from Frankfurt. I think Frankfurt, mid-table German league side. I don't think I think it's more sounding like it's more to do with his aspirations to move higher up the football chain than where he is now. But in fairness, he hasn't played for the best teams so far. So I think that's emphasizing more so why he might want to try and push for a move, or his agent even might be trying to push for a move. And knowing what our kind of current climate is, Arsenal always looking to pinch a deal. We're not going to be necessarily breaking the bank. But I echo what I've already said, and I think what Gunnar Express already said. I don't think we should be looking at strikers or forwards when we've already got players that we should be given that opportunity to. I think even if it was a cut price deal, I still think we should be using that money elsewhere. I think our defence and our midfield is lacking so heavily that our wings and our forwards aren't a position that we should be looking to fulfill. Although he is more like a playmaker role, like a second striker sort of role, isn't he? But yeah, I don't think it's something that is a need at this time anyway.
Yeah. What about yourself, Jasmine?
I completely agree. We have other priorities in our team which we should be looking to fulfill first. Right back and a solid midfielder like Bissouma. So I think those two should be our targets first. And it doesn't make sense to me.
No problem. All right, Gunnar Express, you're probably going to echo the same thing. Am I right?
Kind of. I think Andre Silva has been actually he's very underrated this season in terms of when we're talking about the best strikers in Europe. He's scored 28 goals in 32 games in the Bundesliga, got 8 assists. He has been very, very good. Granted, a lot of those goals were penalties. The thing about Frankfurt being mid-table, I disagree. I don't think it's that he particularly wants an upgrade. They finished 5th. They were in top 4 for a lot of the season. So they are in Europa League. But for me, Frankfurt, they've just got a new manager. They need improvement in a lot, like in different areas. So I think they're basically saying, if we can sell him off a little bit like they did with Luka Jovic, I think, 2 seasons ago, they can spend that money elsewhere and improve their team all around. But I would take him for 30 million, say. But again, I'm going to stick by what I said. We don't need a striker right now. That's not what we need. So if we get all our business done and we still have a little bit of change left over, then maybe, but I just don't see it being too important right now.
Okay, so before I go to the last topic, I'm just going to do a quick little recap. So for the people who have not been watching from the beginning, we've spoken about Houssem Aouar, right? Arsenal are linked to Houssem Aouar on a cheap deal for 25 million. We've spoken about Emiliano Buendia, right? Give us your thoughts on those guys. But before we go any further, the next topic we're going to speak about is a big one. You guys already know what's going on with Daniel Ike and everything going on with Daniel Ike. Guess who spoke today? You guys already know his name.
The best midfielder in world football, Patrick Vieira.
The man, the myth, the legend, none other than Patrick Vieira himself has spoken today to the media, and he was speaking on ITV when he reportedly was talking about some of the possible rumors. And I'm just going to show you guys the what he was saying. Like, I'm not sure if I can actually play the video, but I'm just going to show you guys. This was today when Patrick Vieira was talking to the media sources, and he was telling them some things about everything going around with the transfers and what he thought could happen and what could not happen. So in this interview on ITV, he was asked about the what's going on with Daniel Ike and everything that's going on with Daniel Ike and the possible deal. His exact words were, let me get it up right now. Okay, so definitely we'll try to buy Arsenal again. He is a massive fan. He has the desire and the commitment to buy Arsenal, and will be fantastic. We'll be waiting. Over the past few years, the club has not gone the right direction, and I think it's time for change. Right? Patrick Vieira also on making judgment from the outside, of which watching every single Arsenal game, he realizes how difficult it's been for the club recently and understands and recognizes what's gone down at the club over the last couple of years. Right? He also spoke about losing Arsene Wenger and finding out the right crew to handle the situation and what's going on at Arsenal, try to get them back into the Champions League. He's spoken about the disappointment in the Europa League this season, also spoke about other things. Now, with everything that he said today, I completely agree with everything he was talking about. He was talking a lot of sense today about everything going on at the club, and he knows more than everybody else what has been going on at this club and how even though he's been unemployed and hasn't been working with the club, he still understands how close he is with the fans and what his connection means with the fans. And this guy, I'll tell you guys, he's one of the guys that made me an Arsenal fan. I supported Arsenal because of guys like Patrick Vieira and the connection that I had with the French national team, watching the French national team as a young kid from 98 and everything else. So yeah, I will forever remember him. But let's just talk about it. First things first, I want to ask you guys, hearing what he just said, what do you guys think about that? And do you think the takeover is still on? And before we go any further, I need you guys in the chat, do me a favor, smash a like on the video. Let's keep this rolling. But yeah, Gunnar Express, what do you think about the takeover and everything that he was talking about today?
Well, again, I don't think he's ever been particularly off. I think people, especially Arsenal fans, we know how impatient we are. And I think this is one thing that we've been impatient about. We expect it just to be done within like a few weeks. It's going to take years to do this, or possibly at least a season, at least. That's if the Cronkies are even willing to sell. But one thing that's quite relevant to me is every time that they mention the Cronkies and Eck in terms of negotiating, they always bring up the bankers. For me, the banks run a lot of this club in terms of the amount of money that we spend. They have a big impact on it. So if they want this club sold, it might not be a matter of whether the Cronkies want the club sold. If they have such an impact, it might not be in the Cronkies' hands. They might just have to accept the deal. But yeah, I think obviously we want it to get done. I think Egg is a perfect owner for us. Yeah, there's the issue of how much money does he actually have and how much can he spend. But again, I don't see him coming in, spending all this money to acquire us, to then not spend money. It doesn't make sense to me. Why would he spend this much money and put in this much effort just to not spend money and have us rotting down in 8th place? I don't get it. It just doesn't make sense for me. So, yeah, as we said, we need to keep backing it. We need to keep getting the Cronkies out. We need to keep pushing this Cronky out movement that slowly died off. And we now know that the three legends that have been mentioned to be involved, obviously Bergkamp, Vieira and Henry, have all said their piece. They're all saying the same thing, which is that we aren't good enough right now, that we need to improve, and that Eck has the ambition to do that. And that's all I ask for. Again, when I watch this Leicester owner running around the place and giving out free T-shirts to the fans and all this stuff, it's just ambition. It's love for the club, and that's what I want for our owner, is to love the fans, love the club, and show ambition to want to win things. And I think Eck will bring that.
Yeah, so just to tell everyone what we're talking about is we're talking about what the Daniel Ike will bid again to buy Arsenal. That's what Vieira said today on ITV, football, their football show, whatever it's called. And they were talking with Patrick Vieira in depth about everything about the bid. So now that is Henry, that is Patrick Vieira, and that is also Dennis Bergkamp. All three of them have come out on UK television 3 times in the past month. You've had all three legends come out and speak about the takeover. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. This is serious. There has also been reportedly a new bid of £2 billion submitted today by the club to the club. And I need you guys to do me a favor, guys. Smash like on the video if you're watching, if you're first time here. And I can tell right now we're only on about 32 likes. So I need you guys to do me a favor. Smash those likes. Help me out. Get to at least 50 plus people. That really helps out the channel. And yeah, let's continue, guys. Let me throw it over to you, Jasmeet. Jasmeet, what do you think about what we've seen today and heard from Patrick Vieira?
It's pretty strange now. We've heard from these guys 3 times already. I think he definitely is an Arsenal fan, Daniel Ek, that is. And I think he eventually will take over. But again, it's going to take a lot of time. I don't think 1.8 billion is enough. He might need to pay like 2.5 or something like that. But again, it's going to take years and years, 2 or 3 years at least, in order for that to happen. And I think Patrick is right in saying that whatever we've been doing the past few years, the ownership has pretty much worsened our state. If you look at the most important position in a club, it's a manager. So they are trying to save 15 million a year, which we would have spent on a proper manager, and they are saving like 10 million from it by giving 6 million to Mikel. So if you're like saving 10 million a year just for a manager, which is the most important position in a club, so that tells you all you need to know about the ambition of the owner, like what he needs to achieve, or and also the reason we are not going to go for Antonio Conte or those kind of managers is because they want to control the managers. They want to limit the transfer budget in a summer window, and they know that if a proper manager comes in, they would ask for at least 100 million per window, and that's what they don't want to do. So yeah, Patrick Vieira is right. We lack ambition from the current owners, but I think it's not going to be easy moving on from them. It's going to take at least 2 or 3 years, in my opinion.
Ferns, takeover, Patrick Vieira.
I think
what do you guys
as Arsenal fans, we're all so desperate to get Kroenke out that we're, fans are making assumptions that deals like this could happen immediately. They take like what's already been said. It could be years before we even see anything taking place. I think what we need to do as fans is just keep pushing the movement of Kroenke out and hope Daniel Ek takes over. But it's gonna be a long road before we see the Kroenkes out, I think, anyway.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the link to the video for anyone who wants to watch it in the description of the channel after we're done, so you guys can.
What I love is the fact that Vieira, Bergkamp, Henry, icons of the club, are portraying the feelings of us fans in the mainstream media. Because if people aren't going to listen to us, the Kroenkes aren't going to listen to us as fans, I'm sure they're going to take note of what these figures of our club are echoing of us.
Yeah, and somebody here said, you guys already seen this report today that Stan Kroenke and these guys are ready to negotiate now with Daniel Ike because they've seen the seriousness of his bids. And thank you for the comment here. Appreciate that. We got another comment here. You're taking 5 to 10 years, which will be nearly 30 without a title. What?
I think he's saying that the deal for getting Ekin would take another 5 to 10 years. I don't think it would take that long. I think a couple of years at most. But we are where we are. I don't think we're in control of that. At the end of the day,
do you really think we're going to be the next Liverpool? It's going to take us that long to win a title?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what I've got questions with Ek is he isn't necessarily a obviously he's got billions, but he's not as financially stable in that way as the Cronkies are. I think that's one of the big issues. I think that we need heavy investment in this squad. We're talking hundreds and hundreds of millions of transfers coming in. I don't think it's good enough at this point now that we continue the same model of trying to be shrewd in the market and trying to hope we get these deals. I think we need proven experience, proven players to kickstart us back up the chain. And I think that's what kind of my thoughts are with Ek is that he's not the richest of he's not the rich of the rich, you know. Especially when there was like what's his name, the Nigerian guy Dangote. He's a big time baller, you know. And the same with Usmanov. He was another one, big time baller, wanted to invest in the club, and now he's at Everton. Yeah, I think that's my issue. I think we need so much money to fix this team that we need Sheikh Mansour or Roman Abramovich to come in and get us out of this mess, man.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it, guys. So once again, let me just do a quick recap. So we have Emiliano Buendia linked to Arsenal, and it looks like the deal could happen. I don't expect it to happen until after the Copa Americas, though. But we had Houssem Aouar linked to Arsenal. Will that happen? We don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. We've had the situation with Osman Edwards partly being linked to Brighton, right? Hector Bellerin being linked to 3 different clubs that are interested in him. Martin Odegaard being one of Arteta's main priorities for this up and coming window. We've had Andre Silva linked to Arsenal, and finally, I forgot Tapsoba, and finally Patrick Vieira saying Arsenal will definitely Daniel Ike will definitely make another bid to buy Arsenal again, and he won't give up because he's super interested in buying the club. He's a big fan and he wants to make the club better than it is right now and get it back on track. And I love and respect everybody here. Big up to Ferns, Jasmeet, Gunnar Express. Thank you for coming on, guys. Right. And we're going to be ending off the show, guys. I'm going to be doing a watch along for the Europa League final, Manchester United versus Villarreal, in a couple minutes. And big up to everybody watching. Thank you guys for watching. Have yourselves a wonderful day. And if you haven't already smashed a like on the video, just do me a favor. Hit that like button. It takes 2 seconds out of your time, and it really helps grow the channel and get more people to see the channel. And that's one way you can definitely help me as a content creator. I need you guys to help me out as much as you can. Appreciate it, and have yourselves a wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out of here. You guys already know what it is. The Kitty G. Watch it, and you're watching EGTV. I'm out, people. Peace. What's going on, everybody? I need you guys to go check out my channel and subscribe if you're new. And don't forget to subscribe, hit that button, and hit that notification bell while you're at it, ladies and gentlemen. EGTV.